Okay, hello everyone. So today I want to make a video about community and how I've built my community and how I currently am still growing it. This is just going to be my story, things I'm sharing from my life, and I don't expect that's going to be the same for everybody, but if you're anything like me, I think you'll feel this and resonate with this really deeply. Um, because it's only been later in my life. I'm 32. Um, Honestly, in the last like 2 years, that I've really come into this sense of building a community and not feeling so alone anymore, which is really incredible. Growing up, I was an only child, and I would say that like I have I have had a beautiful life growing up, but like many other people on this planet, I have had also a lot of stress, different and challenging relationship dynamics that have shaped me to be who I am today, and all of which I'm really grateful for. Um, but I will say it started me off at an interesting I don't know if you will say disadvantage, but it's led me to a slower and more progressive feeling of who I am and what I want to bring into the world and how I even want to have relationships in my life. Um, and for me, I'm going to attribute this change to a lot of self growth. A lot of the painful periods I've gone through in my life have put me into um, dark nights of the soul. And if you know what that means, you understand. But essentially, a dark night of the soul, the way that I interpret it is a period of time in life where things seem so dark that you actually can't see the light. You cannot access the good feelings of the beautiful world that we are in. But everything just looks so dark that there's no way out, and so that is typically considered a dark night. Um, And so I've had a few different periods of time in my life that I've experienced that. And it was when I looked at my cell phone and I said, I don't feel like I have anyone to call right now. Like, no one would really care if something occurred to me. I would have no one to call an emergency. Um, I've moved to the West Coast in the last decade, and I was like, if an earthquake takes out my city, then I'm just dead and no one would know. And it was just kind of like that was a story that was in my head for a while. Um, and once I came out of that, and I can give you a bunch of different examples. This would be like a really long video on like exactly how these things happened. Um, but ultimately, it was going through those periods of time in pain that have showed me that I am strong and that I can get through it. And um, it's a it almost builds trust for yourself. Like, I can say now more than ever, I trust myself. I trust the people I have in my life, and I deeply love and care about each of the people that are in my close network. Um, it definitely wasn't always like that. And it's only when I started to experience true love and compassion for myself and um, all of the pieces that are still there. And of course, there are times where that's challenged, like everybody else will have in this life. But ultimately, I have a lot of patience and trust with myself and trust in God and trust in the universe that I am supported no matter what difficulties that I go through, that my energy outside of myself became more honest and just more vulnerable, that I noticed that when I walked down the streets, other women would smile at me. And I have to say, that is an amazing feeling. And I had never experienced that before. I know that sounds so crazy, but there have been several times in my life where I just felt so alone and down, and was thinking that people hated me for no reason, that I just wasn't loved. I just wasn't this and that. But it's so true. We are the microcosm of the macrocosm. So we are just tiny reflections of the universe, and tiny reflections of, what we think about ourselves inwardly is going to be reflected out in the world. And so if I was thinking, no, I'm not worthy of love, people don't love me, no one wants to be my friend, why would someone want to be my friend when I have X, Y, and Z going on? um, Obviously I'm not going to be making very true friendships, and very not going to have the community that I have right now. And so with that energy moving forward, I am putting more action into the world. I'm um, actually, honestly, now, social media, when it's used in the right way, can be really helpful to meet people. Some of my most beautiful friends that I've met outside of school and my Chinese medicine training have been through like Facebook or Instagram, and um, it's just really incredible. And that's my story. Things will always continue to shift and to grow, but I just want to put this out there for anyone who happens to be feeling alone or at loss. It always starts with you. It always starts on the inside. And once you start to have love and acceptance for what's inside, it will project outward. So that's my transmission for today. I'm going to try to make more videos, but if you like this video, if you like my vibe or what I'm putting out there, please subscribe, like the video, and if you want to support me financially at all, you can buy me a coffee. There's a link in my description. Okay, have a beautiful day.